I hurt. When Dick Durbin called me, I had tears of rage when I heard about his experience in that meeting. And for you not to feel that hurt and that pain and to dismiss some of the questions of my colleagues, that's unacceptable to me.
Senator Cory Booker yesterday on Capitol Hill took aim at the Homeland Security Secretary, calling her, quote, amnesia complicit in what he described as ignorance and bigotry on behalf of President Donald Trump. Booker was referring to offensive and expletive language reportedly used by Trump when referring to places like Haiti and countries in Africa. Now, to discuss the fallout and much more, we bring in Michael CAPUTO, the Republican strategist who worked for the Trump campaign early on. Now, he has been a strong supporter of the president, both the local and the national press. But on this topic, you and I have talked before, perhaps that changed a little bit last Thursday as you described him sort of disparaging entire populations. Why do you think this time was different?
I think it's different because the president, no matter who he is, Donald Trump or Jimmy Carter or George Washington, shouldn't be heard disparaging other nations, especially when they're, allies in the war on terror, as some of the African nations are. So, especially if Haiti, there's a special place in our heart for Haiti because of the terrible problems they've had in that country, and it's so close on our back door. I think it's a problem when a president does that. I don't know what he said. There's so much disagreement about what he said. But in reality, I think the president has some cleaning up to do.
You were called to testify on Capitol Hill before the Senate Intelligence Committee late last year as part of the investigation into collusion with Russia. Now, since then, you have learned where you fit into that puzzle. You've learned more about that. How much can you share with us publicly? Well,
it appears that I was unmasked in the surveillance on the Donald Trump campaign, along with hundreds of others. I understand that there's upwards of 1,000 people that were unmasked. And when you understand how that system works, you see how it's broken and it needs to be fixed. There are people, that you need a warrant for these kinds of things, but there are actually people in each of the national security apparatuses, like, for example, DOJ. There's one or two people there who can actually do whatever they want without any permission or any warrant. That's how my name popped up. That's how a lot of names popped up. And frankly, I don't think this thing is over.
I was going to ask, do you anticipate being called back before the IC?
I do. I was contacted by the Senate and the House. I appeared before the House. They've expressed limited interest in seeing me again. The Senate has said they may want to see me. I've never been contacted by the Mueller investigation. I don't expect to at this point. But the congressional investigations, the political investigations, are not yet over.
Now, you mentioned the Mueller investigation, and that kind of brings us to our next question. Yesterday, many people in the Capitol were surprised in the morning to see former White House advisor Steve Bannon answer to a subpoena to Robert Mueller, by Robert Mueller. Today, we all learned that he struck a deal to be interviewed by prosecutors rather than appear before the grand jury. What can you tell us about this investigation in terms of what you think that kind of a move means on behalf of Bannon?
Well, Mueller and his team, went into Paul Manafort's house in the middle of the night with guns drawn, broke in, didn't knock, and went all the way to their bedroom and woke them up. This is a bold investigation that's intending to make some very dramatic moves. And I think when Steve Bannon testified before the House yesterday, I think it was the House, he had expressed some reticence to describe his work with Donald Trump and said that he had gotten that kind of recommendation from the White House. I think that Mueller, making another bold move, subpoenaed Steve because he doesn't want the White House to limit what he can say, and he wants to make it very well known, like a little bit of chin music, that he's not going to tolerate the White House pulling back.
Interesting. All very, I think, well put, and still to play out probably in the months and perhaps even years ahead. Michael CAPUTO, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for joining us.
Really appreciate it.